It's me again, and I have some project shares for you. I have been putting my sewing machine to use, and I've made a stocking and a little stuffed mitten. I should have done two. I didn't think about it when I was creating this. I only did one, but I can't do the other one or it's not going to come out the same size because I did freehand, the image and everything. So anyway, what you're seeing in front of you, or in front of me, is some of the things that I use, some of the fabrics and pieces that I have, and also the 3-lace trim that I had created with my sewing machine. I just sewed 3 trims together, and the cool thing about that is it saves time on actually layering everything whenever you want to create layers on your project. So it saved me a lot of time, and it was ready to go. So I did use some of that, and I also used some trim that I had cut off of some linens that I found at some thrift stores. I have tons of this stuff, so there will be some of this in my fabric destash. It's still coming. I know I keep talking about it. I also used 2 of these, I guess they're napkins. I found these also thrifting. So I used 2 of them to make my stocking. So this is what's left of it. So I'm still going to save that because that's still good. And then I used some of this white fabric that I showed on my trim project here, which is a nice fabric just to have for whatever. And I use it as a liner for my stocking. It's nice just to have some white fabric in your stash. And then I used this for my mitten. I love this. I have a lot of it still, and there's going to be a couple of pieces of this in my fabric lots, and I used it on the mitten. I was trying to do a cuff for my stocking with this, but it was a little thick and I couldn't figure it out. And I did use a tutorial on making the stocking, so I will post that link down below. It's an old tutorial from somebody that I've never seen, but I was looking for a tutorial on how to do it with a lining and a cuff, but the cuff part didn't work out for me. I mean, I know how to do it, it's just, I guess because it was too thick. And just some Chinese braid trim in pink, some ribbons, some seam binding, and then a flower, a fabric flower that was created by Tammy SS Crafter. I actually used it on here, so let me share with you what I did. And here's my stocking. It's very shabby chic, and I'm really happy with it. And here is my little mitten, and it's closed, sealed on the top. It's a little hanging mitten, and again, shabby chic. Isn't that adorable? So I'll start with that because it's the smallest one. Like I said, I freehanded this shape and just cut 2 pieces of that really fun fuzzy fabric. Sewed it all the way around and sewed in some seam binding as my hanger. So I only sewed it up to here so that it would hold this. I turned it inside out, stuffed it a little bit, not too much. I didn't want it too, chunky. And then hand sealed, hand sewn the top to seal it in. And then I used my 3-layer trim as like a cuff, and I did it going up, so it also kind of covered up that seam that I had sewn. And it's still, I left this long enough for that because I knew this was going to be sticking out. So there's that 3. It looks so cute. And then I just finished this off with the Chinese braid trim. And for the front, this is my front, I just did a little bow ribbon and left these long, so this is something that's going to be hanging. So it looks like that, and it's just plush, and it's nicely sewn, yes, with my sewing machine. I'm really having a good time with this, just making whatever. Okay, so that one is that, and then this I did second actually. I first did my stocking, which again is the 2 pieces of the napkins or linens. I don't know exactly what they were, but seemed like napkins. And it actually has the lining. It took a little while to figure it out as they were making it. Then I figured it out and did it. Managed to get it done. Unfortunately, I couldn't do my fuzzy. This was going to be the cuff, but I still like what I got as an end result. So it's finished on the inside, and what I did with this trim, okay, when I cut off my trims off the linens, I cut off and left extra fabric on here on everything. But to put it on here, I did go and cut in the excess close to this edge here, so that all you would see is the top ruffle and then the bottom. So this is actually this whole piece, and I sewed this on to my stocking. So that did get sewn on. But the 3 ruffle trim that I had created got hot glued on. I wanted just, you know, an extra amount of layers on there to make it more shabby chic. And then I just put on the pink Chinese trim to finish it off. And there's just a light pink ribbon as my hanger. And then the rest of this got hot glued on. And again, this is from Tammy SS Crafter 1. We did a swap, I think it was around springtime, and these were in the swap that she had created. Really gorgeous, really beautiful bling in the center. But underneath, I just hot glued all these ribbon and seam binding and some crocheted trim in a color to match what she has in this flower. And then just light pink and white seam binding. And again, I just left it nice and long and in different lengths. You know, that's the shabby part of Shabby Chic. So that's how that looks. And again, I will leave the link down below on how you actually create the stocking with the lining, and it also shows you how to do the cuff. And the cuff that they do in that tutorial is just like a fabric cuff. I was trying to use this thick stuff, and it was too thick, and then I kept cutting it down, and then it ended up being too small, so then I just gave up and left the piece of fabric to actually create this. So this actual piece was going to go on here, so I just freehanded the mitten and then cut it and sewed it together. So there you go. So these two, I think they go well together. Really cute. Very shabby chic. And I'm super excited. Very happy with this sewing machine. And just a whole bunch of ideas going through my head. So hopefully I'll have the time to do them. But excuse me. It's also late. I don't want to choke. Okay. So that's it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.